All right. Welcome back to Her in the Huddle, WOVU 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel, the First Lady of Sports. And I have everybody with me. I have my boys with me now. Hey, fellas, can y'all hear me at all? All right. So
Yeah.
I think I got an
Yeah.
echo. I think I'm signed in twice.
Look, right, y'all. Rachel's so good at this thing that she had two of her on the screen at one time. How does that work?
The double stream yard.
So what's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
What's going on? I just ate good. I
Yeah,
thought we
I'm
wasn't
good.
even. I thought I wasn't gonna be on, so I just ate. I ain't gonna. I just ate a good meal for like 5 minutes. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, Willie, I just talked a little bit about what's going on in Texas, not too far from you. How far away is where that happened?
Uvalde talking about the school shooting out there.
Yes.
It's down near San Antonio, so it's about 4 hours from here.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just read up on it, and I'm running out of words about these
I tell you.
events. That
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll let you finish. I got something to say after you done.
I was just gonna say I'm running out of words, man, in terms of what to say about these things. You know, this kid was an 18-year-old high school student. He shot his grandmother before he actually went on the rampage. I have no idea what the heck he could have been thinking. Um, our heartfelt prayers and thoughts and well wishes go out to all those people out there in Uvalde. The Texas Bureau of Firearms and Explosives is down there. The Houston office of the FBI is out there. It's just so tragically just so sad.
Yeah. Really sad. And, I talked about it very briefly to open the show today. So just, unfortunately, thoughts and prayers to the families that was all involved there. And I just wanted to get your perspective really quick because I knew it was in Texas, but I wasn't sure how far that was for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good little ways from here, but I mean, still, it's like it's right next door.
Yeah. So, all right, moving on. Had to talk. I was talking baseball before I got everything situated. So, sorry for singing out the wrong link to you guys. But wanted to talk about yesterday's victory, the Cleveland Guardians versus the Houston Astros. So, that was a really big win for the Guardians to be able to go in there and get a huge victory over the Houston Astros. And last year they faced them 8 times and only won one time. So it was a huge victory on the road. Did you guys catch the game at all last night?
I caught the highlights. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't. I was
Yeah,
too busy watching that Miami and Boston game. So
Yeah,
I only
same
caught the
here.
highlights.
But I
It
mean, who
wasn't
wins?
even a
For sure.
game.
I
It
mean,
wasn't,
listen,
but
Ra-
the playoffs, you always want to watch just, in case something
yeah,
happens. Like,
Mine
Rachel,
was getting beat by like 40 points.
Rachel, listen. If you a real American, like if you got red, white, and blue blood, it's football, basketball, college football, college basketball, and then probably the MLB.
I would probably put soccer above the Major League Baseball
Yeah,
league right now.
Are
But
y'all
I mean, this is what
serious
it
right
is.
now?
nobody,
I don't know if I
nobody
would go
watches
that far, but the
162
MLS
games.
is on the come up, though.
Yeah, nobody watches 162 games like you, Rachel. Only reason why I'm about to start watching 162 games is because Mark really been on my backstrap about joining the MLB Bros. So I might have no choice but to watch 162 games. But whew,
Boy, I can't get in that club for nothing.
yeah, you can. You just
No, I
got
can't.
yeah, you can.
We
I'm
gonna work
telling
on that,
you,
Marshawn.
Yes, you can. I
I've
told you.
been I've been trying for over a
Listen,
year.
listen. Yes, you can. Yes,
Okay.
you can. Yes, you
I
can.
thought
Marshawn, you got to put in a good word for him.
I told him. Listen,
I thought
that's
I knew people that knew
you
people.
big bro. You know somebody. Listen, I know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. Yes, you can. You good. Rachel know him too. You good.
I
Oh, you.
mean,
I didn't know this. I didn't know you was trying to get in, but you
I
good.
actually I actually sent Rob Parker himself an inbox, and he told me to contact this other cat, of which I did, and that
Okay.
cat never responded.
You good now. You good. You good. You are
Okay.
good. You are good. We're gonna talk about this after the show, but you good.
Yeah.
You
So
good.
back to this watching of baseball. The reason why this game was so captivating because you know that Houston can go on offensive explosions. So you always have to be prepared for what Houston can do. So I was at the on my heels watching this game because I didn't know what was going to happen. Because you know Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman, you just never know with this hitting lineup. And it was Tristan McKenzie who is already running. I don't know if you can call him a young ace yet, but emerging talent. You wanted to make sure that he didn't have any breakdowns.
Yeah. No, I mean he gave up what, one homer, if I'm not
Yeah, he gave up
mistaken.
one home run, one
Yeah, he
earned
gave up
run.
one homer, and I mean I'll tell you this, he's coming into a shell of himself. I'm not shell of him. He's coming into his
On.
yeah, his own. He's coming into. I remember when he first came up. You could barely get that kid to go 6 innings. Now to be able to get some complete, I mean, near complete games out of him, some dominant games out of him. That just shows the growth of him. And I mean, he ain't no bigger than me. He taller than me. He probably got about 8 to 9 inches on me, but we probably the same size. We both 170, 180
155.
pounds. Yeah, soaking wet. We ain't no different, but he just got a little bit more height on me. But no, I think my thing was how Jose Ramirez. He had one homer, 4 RBIs.
Yeah.
He's this is the type of games I like to see. I mean, we kind of was a little inconsistent against Detroit because of the weather, but this is the type of games I like to see where you getting our best. You getting healthy lineups, interchangeable lineups. You getting guys that you could put at different positions, and you seeing we under 500, but you seeing us starting to come into what I think could be greatness.
Yeah, and it was important to get a huge win on the road like that to open up the series as well.
Yeah, oh for sure, especially against a good team like Houston. They I got a love hate relationship with them. More so love them than hate them. But
You the only one.
you, I
The only one.
the only reason why I like them because their uniforms is pretty good. Like, I like the space uniform, Space City uniforms this year. I
Those
like
are ugly.
I like their stadium. I wish we had a dome on our stadium. I wish we got a World Series. That's more so why I like them. I like
They
winners.
cheated for it, though. They cheated for it.
Hey man,
Hmm.
Tom
How
Brady
much is
cheated.
that really worth? I mean,
It's worth a lot. I'm gonna tell you
Hey,
why. I'm gonna tell you why, Caleb, because they're the champions. That happened 4 or 5 years ago. They've been to 2 World Series since then, although they did set a record in the previous one before this last one that they lost to the Nationals. I mean, that's the only World Series that no home team did not win a World Series game in the history of this sport. But I'm gonna tell you what I think about the Houston Astros, because the Oakland A's are so terrible right now. I have adopted the Astros as my favorite team, and I'm gonna tell you why. Dusty Baker is the only African American manager with as many wins as he does have. Number two, he has totally changed the culture around that city or around that franchise from what we remember what happened with hashtag Signgate. And then number three, I'm rooting for this dude to get a World Series championship simply because he was dynamic as a player. He grew up in Riverside, California. All the things that you want to see from a black kid that is playing baseball, a black boy that plays baseball, you want to see that come back and circle back and be retro to what it is going right now. So he had a really good playing career. He's had a Hall of Fame manager career. Why not top it off with the World Series championship?
I mean, that sounds good and all, but that still ain't enough to make me root for the Houston Nationals.
But this is what I'm saying, Rachel. If your team, like my team, is out of it, my team is going to be out of it. But say, for instance, it gets to a point in the season where the Guardians are out of it. It wouldn't be. I don't think we should put this on a poll on Twitter. I don't think it would be criminal or blasphemous to root for a manager of a team that you may not care for.
I agree with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with once your squad is out of it, kind of adopting, a little or your squad, for the postseason. Like, because then I think it keeps you engaged. I mean, and that's a solid story, Dusty Baker. That would be pretty cool to see him, go out on top and kind of come full circle with his career, I guess, as a player and as a manager. So I got no problem with that.
And then on top of that, I mean, Dusty is what, 74, 75 years old? When he actually got his 2000 victory a couple weeks ago, I did the show about that and spent like more than half of the first segment on Dusty Baker because I have so much respect for that dude and what he has done. Now, he's had some bad luck along the way, but he's managed some really, really good teams in Chicago, in San Francisco, in Cincinnati, in Washington, and of course now in Houston. He has done everything that you can do as a player, but as a manager, he's done everything that you can do except for win the big one. And for his legacy, and for a person who I have that amount of respect for, I'm rooting for his legacy, So I think we as media people and even the sports fans, we can take our sports grudges a little bit too far. Now it's time for me to release the grudge against Tom Brady and the New England Patriots for what happened in Deflategate, not Deflategate, in Fumblegate all those years ago. I have finally let that grudge go. So we as sports fans, man, we can start letting some of these things go. And as we get older, I think for me anyway, that I began to appreciate the greatness of what we're seeing and knowing that we're probably not going to see it for much longer.
I can agree.
I don't.
Yeah,
I need that grudge. I need it to function. It's part of
can I ask
sport.
you a question? Can I ask you a
Yes.
personal question? Who do you hate more, the Astros or the Warriors?
The Warriors.
Goodness gracious.
I hate the Warriors because they stopped us from winning 3 titles.
That's-
The Houston Nationals really haven't stopped us from winning anything.
What? How many times they didn't put Cleveland out? At least twice. At
The
least
playoffs?
twice. Yes.
Yeah, but you're asking the wrong question because you haven't even brought up the team that we hate the most here, and that's the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean,
don't hate
that's
the Steelers.
enemy number one. I feel.
I don't hate the Steelers.
I thought it was
What?
the Yankees.
I stopped hating the Steelers when they had Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell. That's when I stopped hating them because I just started witnessing greatness. At some point, that's like, listen, I don't hate Michigan. I want to see Michigan lose every year. I love seeing Ohio State win. I don't hate Michigan. Michigan put out some great players. I don't like them.
But I thought Cleveland fans in terms of the most hated franchises in this order or some variation of it would be the Yankees, the Steelers.
I hate the Yankees. I
think the Yankees are just universally hated, though. That's everybody can agree on.
I definitely hate the Yankees. I hate the Cubs now. I hate them now.
Oh yeah, definitely not a Cubs fan. Not a Cubs fan.
Yeah. I hate Pittsburgh. I still hate John Elway. The Denver Broncos.
Wow.
So I still hate them. Basketball. I hate the Golden State Warriors. I hate the Chicago Bulls.
You want to know when I started liking the Warriors during that championship run? When LeBron James got Tristan Thompson $85 million guarantee, I said, "Oh, I'm a Warriors fan now."
No, never.
God. When Tristan got $85 million guarantee, yes, he wasn't worth it.
Is there any?
But you can't knock my man's for getting his money.
That's
right.
Get your money.
Let the man
get your money,
paid.
but you can't be mad at the Warriors. You can't be mad at the Warriors.
I'm mad at the Warriors because they beat the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Because they managed their money right. They was able to, move for dollars. And,
No, they also drafted.
The Cavs was out here. The Cavs was out here getting Bob the Builder. I don't know. Barnyard. What's the Andre Barnyard from Fox say? They was just giving away people.
And I hate Michigan, and also because going on Ohio State as well. It's a huge thing. You just kind of got to go there to understand it. But I'll always hate Michigan. I'll never root for Michigan.
Yeah,
so
Michigan goes. Michigan goes without standing.
I got a huge question because I think we need to have some sort of therapeutic session right now. So what is it that causes us to hate certain teams?
when they beat my
When they
team.
lose.
We need.
When
No,
you
I
lose.
think.
But
Not
wait,
even
no, no, no,
necessarily
no.
that. I just think
I
rivalry is.
I said therapeutic, so we have to go deeper than the surface. Because I've asked this question to Rachel, I've asked this question to Kate, and I've asked this question to Natalie, but I can't seem to get a real answer. What is it? Why is it that Michigan? Why is it that so many people? Okay, what is it that happened that spawned the rivalry between Ohio State and Michigan?
That started it.
Yeah,
For me?
So
no, in general. I mean, what is it? What because everything that you guys talk about in terms of being Ohio State fanatics, you have inherited it, right? So what is it that you inherited? What was the thing that caused the hate?
so
DNA.
so I
DNA.
looked it up. No. I looked this
Inherited.
up one time.
Okay.
I believe that there was.
A war.
Well, yeah. I want to say it was over like territory or something like that, like a
Yep.
Yeah,
long,
up near
long time
Toledo.
ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
Up
And they
near
were beefing
Toledo.
about that. And I mean, that's all I need to know. Like
Nobody died.
it's always Ohio against the world
Yeah.
anyway. So
I go to Michigan a lot. I'm in Michigan a lot, but
oh,
I, you
I've been around Ann
know,
Arbor.
I don't
I've been up a
listen.
few times.
I'll tell you this. I ain't. I'm bold enough to wear red in Michigan. I'm bold enough to do that.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, but
we won
you
that
know,
war and nobody died, and we won the Toledo territory. And Toledo thanks us by cheating and always rooting for Michigan. So I don't understand that Toledo area at all.
Because Toledo is right there. I mean,
I don't care. It's Toledo, Ohio, not Toledo, Michigan.
It's 2 minutes away from Michigan, right?
Yeah, I know. I
It's
don't
It
right
care.
is right
yeah,
there.
it's
I
like
was
right
just
there.
there.
It's
I
like
want to say 2
that.
weeks ago.
Yeah, so what?
Okay. I find that captivating because I have things that actually happen on the field that cause me to hate other teams.
Oh, I mean, well,
There's definitely that type of stuff too, though. I mean, that's why the Pittsburgh Steelers, like for sure, watching them, beat up on the Browns for the majority of my childhood and like physically, like I mean, like I'll never forget when Antonio Brown kicked who's our punter, Spencer Lanning, kicked him right in the
Uh,
face. Like
I mean,
that's something I'll never forget. Or seeing Colt McCoy get cracked by who's that?
James
Was that
Harrison.
James Harrison? Yeah, like things like that run deep with Pittsburgh. I mean, the Steelers for sure. That they definitely come to mind when you talk about like on the field type of like this. We just don't like each other.
Okay. Can I throw this in before we go to break, or do we need to go to break now?
we need to go to break.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
we'll be right back. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
Oh man, that's some good stuff. That is some good stuff. We can do a whole series of shows on rivalries, man.
I mean, it's a pretty good topic to talk about, though. Like, there's just so many. I mean,
We have to save that for the summer when there's no content out there. But we can
like in the heat of
we always.
heat of the summer.
I mean, yeah. I mean, because you have NFL is not here yet. Baseball is in the dog days. The NBA will be over, so it's like that. That's those 3 weeks or those 4 weeks between the end of the NBA finals before NFL training camps kick off. I mean, because look, I mean, if we can come up with content during how
Right.
long?
Welcome back to Her and Huddle, WOVU 95.9 FM. And I am here with the boys today. I am here with Willie Epstein Jr., Marshawn Powers, and Caleb Blake. What's up, fellas?
yo,
What up, sis?
What up?
Yeah, so somebody had something before we was going to break. Willie, that
Yeah,
was you, right?
yeah. So I wanted to say this because, like the rivalry between cities, Oakland, San Francisco, Giants fans hate A's fans and vice versa. When the Raiders were in Oakland, Raiders fans hate 49er fans and vice versa. The two cities are only 8 miles apart, okay? But the vibe in each city is like polar opposites of one another. Oakland is grimy, blue collar, nasty, ghetto, dirty, filthy, hood. And San Francisco is, I like a chai with extra shots of cinnamon. That's the difference between the two. So when the two play each other, like the Raiders play the 49ers this year in the NFL in the regular season, and it especially when the two teams are at least relevant. Yo. And then I think for us as A's fans, when we beat the Giants in the earthquake series back in '89, oh, that just solidified more of it.
Uh, so where the Warriors are they in Oakland or they are in San Fran?
They moved to San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
Because that's where the Chase Center is now, right? When they rebuilt
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right off the water. I mean, just like Oracle Park where the Giants play, they're both right off the water.
So why they leave Oracle?
Because the city of Oakland, they're to put it politely, they suck.
That was politely.
Yeah,
Like,
they
it's
suck.
that bad out there?
The city of Oakland sucks. That's the reason why. Don't be surprised within the next 2 years that you see the A's in Las Vegas. And there's going to be no professional teams in the city of Oakland for the first time since the 60s.
Okay. I was wondering where they played at. I wasn't sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's move on to a little football. Or y'all want to talk basketball since y'all was acting
Basketball.
funny and not wanting to watch it in the Guardians. Excuse me.
Yeah,
I'll definitely talk a little NBA right now. I mean, I'm interested to see, what you guys are thinking about the playoffs because we didn't really get into it much last week.
Yeah, will Dallas be able to get a win tonight, or is there going to be a closeout game?
Honestly,
I'm gonna go last.
I'm gonna say that they will win tonight, and it's not because I mean they have shown no signs of life. I think Dallas is dead, but I also think the Warriors don't have a real sense of urgency, like to win. I mean, we saw that with the Grizzlies series last time. They're not in a hurry to close it out right now, especially with Miami and Boston is probably going to go 7. I think. I mean, it's at least going 6. You know that already, right? So I don't really think the Warriors care if they drop one in Dallas and then just go home to the Chase Center and close it out there.
This dude tripping.
The
The Mavs aren't that bad. They are bad, but I mean, Luka can go win a game if they can get a decent performance out of Jalen Brunson.
Let me tell y'all something. I'm in the Dallas area. Have been to American Airlines Center. I don't know how many times. They actually had a specific room for us out there whenever we were going on a regular basis. This is a terrible matchup for the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks have shown life, Caleb, because in the first 2 games, they easily could have won those, especially in the second game when they were up by over 20.
They should have won game 2. I agree.
There's never a lead that's safe against the Golden State Warriors.
No.
And when you talk about them not having a sense of urgency, excuse me, wasn't it just last year that the Warriors finished with like the worst division or the worst record in the West? And then because of all of the injuries that they have or had, that they ain't trying to get back there. I think the opposite is absolutely the gospel because they want to send a message, number one, and then number 2, they want to get some rest. Who knows? James Wiseman might come back. Andre Iguodala might come back, and that's just 2 pieces that they haven't had all year. So you bring them back in the fold, possibly if you can't get nothing but 10, 15 minutes a game from each of them against a Celtics team that is hobbling, against a Heat team that is hobbling. Man, the Warriors are they licking their chops right now.
I agree. I feel like they're going to go ahead and close it out tonight. They're not playing any games and they're messing around. They can go ahead and get some rest. Remember, Clay is coming back from injuries and stuff like that. So it'll be opportunity to rest people. I just think that they're going to go ahead and close it out tonight. They realize that Luka don't got no help. And the role players that have been getting it done for Dallas are not getting it done. And I think that the Golden State Warriors, like Willie said, they smell blood in the water like a shark. and they're gonna go ahead and take care of their business tonight.
Yeah, it's over with tonight.
They definitely miss Tim Hardaway Jr.
Even with Tim Hardaway, it's over with. They
No,
have,
no, but what I'm saying though, Marshawn, is this: is that Tim Hardaway Jr. is another piece that can defend on the wing,
yeah,
and he's also a definite shooter that can hit it from deep.
yeah,
Last year when he came over in the trade, or not last year, but 2 years ago, or whenever it was, when him and Porzingis came over from the Knicks, Tim Hardaway Jr. was considered a throw in, but he's still here, and Porzingis is gone.
yeah.
They miss his ability to hit shots because when Jalen Brunson and Doncic are taking it to the rack, Maxi Kleber is not hitting no shots. Bullock, who has that rooster hairstyle, was 0 for 10 in the last game. He played, I want to say it was 30 something minutes and was 0 for 10 from the 3-point line, if I'm not mistaken. Those are points and shots that would have gone to Tim Hardaway Jr. as opposed to that guy.
No, I agree. I mean, I think Tim Hardaway would add maybe anywhere between 15 to 20. I'm not saying he would make a difference, but I think it's over. First of all, you got Porzingis got to play defense this round. You don't have to play defense against Phoenix because nobody else outside Devin Booker wasn't really making any shots. What Phoenix was going through is not what he's going through. Where you, the guy who's got to do all the offensive work, you gotta facilitate and you gotta score. So I think it's over. I don't think that, you know, I think only team that could beat Golden State tonight is Golden State. If they get complacent, if they feel like, if they get in that Minnesota series and feel like you already won, you playing around with your food, then yeah, they'll definitely, you know, lose. But I mean, I
I don't.
think Steph, my light skinned brother Steph Curry is playing the petty king right now. Him and Luca is having a smirk off, and whoever can irritate each other the most. And I think Steph is winning right now. And then another guy who I feel like the Cavs should have never traded. I said this then, and I'm gonna stand on this now. The Cavs should have never traded Andrew Wiggins. I feel like Andrew Wiggins should have been that guy. If we all know, this ain't me to down on LeBron, but name me one young player that LeBron's ever mentored in his 19 years of playing. One young person. Kyrie Irving, no. He
Yeah,
hasn't.
that's a
He
good
has
point.
not mentored one young person. Andrew Wiggins should have been that guy. What did he want to do? He wanted to get him out of here quick so he could play with a more, I guess, ready veteran than Kevin Love, who was good. That's not me hating on Kevin Love, but I feel like, what you gave Minnesota for Kevin Love, you could have used to get other players in here built around you, Kyrie, and Andrew Wiggins. Maybe Kyrie would have never left.
No, he was
So
gonna go.
I don't think so. Because if you watch that document now, I Am Athlete, Kyrie said him, LeBron, and the Cavs were on three different pages. I think if because depleting assets and seeing that the team was much older, because Kyrie even said like the team was older and Kyrie felt like he came into the gym every day and felt like nobody in that gym could beat him one on one. I think he beat Bron one on one. He just don't want to say it. So I mean, I really think if you would have kept that team much younger, because Brown was just hitting his 30s. So if you would have kept that team 23, 24, 25, no, closer to 30 versus making the team your age, I think we probably would still see the Cavs, if not in the finals, contending in the finals. So, that's another guy who I think Andrew Wiggins stepped up. You go under a player like Steph Curry who could mentor you right, Draymond Green could mentor you right and got you on point. That's who I think the X factor in all of this.
Who do y'all think has the bigger emotion right now? Kevin Durant as being mad or LeBron James as being mad? Because Durant decided to leave Golden State. But then, of course, like you said, Marshawn, um, Andrew was traded for or traded out of. So who do you think is more mad?
I'm gonna say LeBron because I always when people ask me about KD, I always resort back to when they won the second
17,
championship. I think it
18.
was 17 when they asked Bob Myers who was the face of the Warriors, and then at the parade said this is Steph Curry's team in front of KD's face. I think that KD that rubbed him the wrong way. That's something I don't feel like you say right then and there. I think that's behind a closed door situation because he said that in front of KD's face. I kind of think that turned KD off and kind of was like, all right, I'm just here to win championships. When my time's up, my time is up.
Good point.
I think he might have known that going in though. I mean, Steph was already the guy in Golden State. He already won a championship for that organization, and I mean, obviously KD was. I mean, he's one of the best scorers that's ever played the game, but he had to know. I mean, you're already going into a star-studded situation. I mean, they're talent-wise, they were miles ahead of anybody else, and it's not like he was, coming in to take over and be like the next step that they needed to win a championship. It was
He was.
He was just an insurance pot. The Warriors were still going to compete for a championship with or without Kevin Durant.
Do you think in 15 we all can agree that if Kevin Love and Kyrie was healthy, I think the Cavs would have won. They won in 16.
Yeah, I
so
think
that would have put them down. That would have put them down 0-2. You think they would have continued to compete with just the Harrison Barnes if they wouldn't have got KD for the next couple of years? No, we would have probably seen a team like the Clippers. We would have probably seen a team like OKC if KD would have stayed.
But you can't really say that either, Marshawn, because the Warriors. Remember the year before Kevin Durant got there, they won 73 games. That series or that finals when the Cavs won, you can give a big thumbs up of credit to the NBA for suspending Draymond Green. Okay, I'm not saying that would have made that much of a difference, but it's something still a part of the equation that we just can't freaking leave out. Now, Kevin Durant, when he gets there, yeah, he elevates them to a different level. And what they did was they just changed the dynamic of how they played the game. They didn't have to run as many guys. And I was one of those ones that said the Warriors are going to fall off because the one thing that they had was that death lineup. And they would put those dudes in there and Leandro Barbosa and all those cats. They would actually, because those guys that were coming off the bench for the Warriors, they would have been starters on most other teams. So that is how they made their mark. And then when they signed Kevin Durant, those dudes had to leave. But yet Kevin Durant was enough by himself to make up for the scoring or whatever else that was gone from the death lineup when they decided to let them go.
I agree. You got
it. Yeah, I mean,
my guy George said, well, I'll go to some of these comments right quick. Damian said the Warriors are going to choke like they did in the finals. Damian,
nah.
I was about to say something, but we're live. So Damian, I disagree with you, but Warriors are going to win the finals this year. There's no team that I can see right now that could beat the Warriors. But
no one's beating the Warriors in a 7-game series this year. Miami, Boston. I mean, nobody is winning.
Yeah, our good friend George said, "Will Dallas get some players around Luka sooner than later? One can never be 5. Luka needs a 2 and a 3." That's what I said. I feel like I know this is kind of a stretch. I know it's a big stretch, but I feel like if you team Luka up with like a Devin Booker, or if you team Luka up with like a Jimmy Butler, or Miami, and put Luka down in Miami with Jimmy and Bam, goodness.
But Luka just signed an extension, so he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah,
contracts don't mean contracts are tradable
Luka
nowadays.
is not. He's definitely not leaving Dallas anytime soon. I think he is going to be there for a long time.
I know, but who you gonna get to come to Dallas? Who's gonna say, yo, I want to go to Dallas and play with Luka?
So here's a name that I want to see what y'all think about this, because I don't think that he takes them to the next level necessarily, but he does add. I mean, they need a big, if you think about it. And, Rudy Gobert is kind of at that point with Utah right now, where it's like, the whole report came out with him or me with Donovan Mitchell. So, I mean, you compare those guys together, I think they're better. And obviously he adds some rim protection, but I still don't really think that puts them over the hump. But what do y'all think?
I like that. I like that. You keep shooters around them. You run a pick and roll with Rudy and Luka. It wouldn't be bad.
The pick and roll is nice, but I don't think Rudy adds enough offensively. I
don't think so either.
Okay, it's break time, huh?
Yeah, it's break time. Willie's staying on top of that for me. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a break. You're listening to her in the huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We'll be right back. All right. Welcome back to Her in the Huddle, WOBU 95.9 FM. I'm here with the usual suspects, Caleb Blake, Marshawn Powers, and Willie Epstein Jr. And we were just having a basketball conversation regarding the Western Conference Finals and how Golden State is going to go ahead and close it out tonight. Willie, you were saying, because I want to get to Coach Prime and Coach Prime versus Nick Saban.
Oof. they gonna both need Aflac after battling each other. Um, I was just gonna say that Rudy Gobert would get them a step closer, but the West is gonna be so much more loaded next season. It's gonna take a little bit more than that for Mark Cuban and the Mavs to get some other additional players in there. I mean, think about the West, how it is now, but think about what it's going to be next year. I mean, you're going to have 11, 12 teams vying for those 10 spots. That's it. I'm out.
Why would the West be any more loaded than what it already is every
I'm,
year?
I'm glad you asked, Rachel. Okay, so you have Phoenix. They won the championship last year. They just lost in the semifinals.
Man, ain't nobody worried about
And she
Phoenix.
ain't ask you. She talking to me. You got Phoenix. You got the Clippers is going to come back with Kawhi and Paul George. You have the Lakers that you think are going to come back because LeBron James is on the team and Anthony Davis, I think, is going to get it right and get healthy. You have Denver, who just had one, who has Nikola Jokic, who has just won his second straight MVP. Oh, by the way, he didn't have Michael Porter Jr. or Jamal Murray most, if not all of the year for Porter Jr. You also have the Grizzlies. You have the Timberwolves. You have the Pelicans who are going to get Zion back. You pair him with CJ McCollum. They're going to be better. Dallas is already there. Utah is already there. How many teams is that? That's 9 teams. I didn't even mention the team that's playing tonight that's going to go to the finals after they beat the Mavs, and that's the Golden State Warriors. There's your 10 teams.
Okay.
I like it when I don't get no response. I'm going to drop the mic.
I mean, there was one team I forgot that you mentioned. I forgot what I was gonna say about it.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I agree with like the West is going to be ridiculous next year. I mean, the talent in the NBA right now is only getting better and better. I think. I mean, you just got guys that are becoming so versatile, like, and just so massive, and can do all the things that they can do. Yeah. I mean, they're going to need something more than Rudy Gobert for sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the Lakers. Yeah. AD gonna be hurt next year again. They got to figure out what they're gonna do with Russell Westbrook.
He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, so what y'all gonna do? What they gonna do with him? They don't even got no coach right now.
But the thing is,
it ain't looking too good for the Lakers.
But we're looking at it on the surface, though. You have LeBron James, who at 33,612 years old is still one of the top 4 players in the world. Aside from injuries for him and the poor play of everybody that was around him, he would have been mentioned in the MVP conversation. You know that. So it's like Tom Brady, the GOATs of all GOATs, man. They're going to find a way to make their squad, outside of things that they have no control over, be better than they were the year before. The first time the Lakers were there, or he was in LA, they missed the playoffs. Second year, they go to the championship. Third year, they go out in the first round. Fourth year, they don't make it. This year, what's going to happen? We'll see.
I said, listen, when LeBron went to the Lakers, I told my homeboys, I tell them everybody at least once a season, LeBron going to the Lakers is a gift and a curse. You're going to get a championship. But at the end of that, and I mean, nothing's going to come. It's just going to be kind of a slow death for your franchise until he's off the roster.
That's true.
I mean? It's not. It's no knock against LeBron. I respect who LeBron is as a person. I'm more of a. I guess people call me Skip Bayless when it comes to LeBron. I understand LeBron as a person. I respect what LeBron, his school, but his basketball moves, how he moves, like personally on the basketball court, some of the things I question. For instance, not signing your contract until Tristan Thompson got 85 million fully guaranteed. Fully
Mm.
guaranteed. He was the only person on the roster with a fully guaranteed contract. Why? What did he do? Get a couple offensive rebounds? I'm not knocking his game. I know he would kill me on the basketball court, but I feel like I look at how the Warriors move. They didn't lose their core. All they did was, take a few years, put a couple of young players around them. Look where they are now. I think that if LeBron would have moved like that, probably got a lot more respect.
All right, really quickly, the series between the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat. Who you got?
Whew, that went back and forth.
Boston
Yeah.
in 7.
Some days I pick Miami, some days I pick Boston. It depends on who. Now I'll put it to you like this: at this point, it depends on who playing. Because the games that you feel like Miami gonna win, last minute they be like, "Oh, this person ain't playing." The games you feel like Boston gonna win, the last minute they be, "Oh, this person ain't playing." So I just take it game by game. I feel like if Robert Williams continues to play the rest of the way, I don't know if Miami gonna win. Because Bam Adebayo, I put it on my Instagram today. Bam Adebayo turned into Cleveland Kendrick Perkins. When Robert Williams is on the court, he gets you about 6.6 rebounds. But if he ain't on the court, he gets you turning the shot. So it just depends on Bam at this point. Bam is the
Linchpin.
Bam is the guy that's gonna get Miami to the finals or not.
I think the Medics are gonna win.
The Medics.
Yeah.
The Miami Heat.
No, the medics, the people that are
Oh.
people that are taking care of the injuries.
Oh, I'm like, who? Okay. Yeah, both teams are banged up. So pretty much whoever is healthy, I think, is going to win at this point. So really quickly, what's going on with Coach Prime and Nick Saban? They did commercials together for Aflac, but right now they're beefing because Nick Saban said that Jackson State paid Travis Hunter $1 million to come and play there,
Yeah.
and this was categorically denied by Coach Prime.
I'll say this: Travis Hunter got paid. He got paid. He didn't get paid $1 million. He got paid something. It definitely wasn't $1 million. But Nick Saban, from the way I got of it, I'm gonna say quick. I know everybody want to get in. Nick Saban pretty much was trying to get his boosters to give him a little bit more money, and by doing that, he kind of threw A&M and Jackson State under the bus a little bit. Somebody recorded it. It got out. I don't think Nick was intended on throwing anybody under the bus because everybody is still wondering how you getting guys to go from LA to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I'm still trying to figure that out. So if Nick trying to keep that under wraps, I think he better make some phone calls.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm like, he the last person that should be talking about anybody paying in.
Absolutely.
Well, I think it's a potential closing of the gap because Dion and Jackson State, right in the middle of the hood over there in Jackson, Mississippi, they are stealing. I shouldn't say stealing, but they are flipping big time recruits from the Alabamas, from the LSUs, from the Ohio States, from the Georgias. They're flipping them. And this is a trend that he may not want to see because it threatens, well, he may think that it threatens his legacy, but this dude is the best coach ever in college football. I just think it's just that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, you never want. I mean, he wants to eliminate as much competition as possible. Like, in terms of, because I mean, Dion with his pedigree and the way he's kind of changed Jackson State around, they've been able to get guys like Travis Hunter and guys from these bigger schools. So obviously that's going to cut into it a little bit. I mean, Alabama's still going to be great either way. They're going to finish top 10 in the country as long as Nick Saban is there. But he definitely did not have to throw Jackson State under the bus. I mean, I kind of like the A&M just because it's adds a little SEC beef. I mean, that's going to be a fun game this year. But yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think he meant to do as much harm as he did, but it played out the way it did. So made for a more interesting college football season for sure.
Yeah, Jimbo Fisher came with that fire, was letting it all
Jimbo
out.
was heated. I mean, I was loving that press
He
conference.
called the emergency press conference.
And he told him to go dig into Nick Saban's past too. He said, "Go get the." I mean, I'm interested to see if anything else will happen with that, you know, because I mean, Jimbo was on the staff. I mean, he definitely, if anybody would know, he would know. So
Mhm.
I'm interested to see what else can come out about that too. But the NIL has just busted everything open. So I mean, all this stuff is fair
Mhm.
game now.
Yeah, and he was like, Nick Saban wanted me to come work back with him. He was like, why do you think I'm not with him now? Whenever somebody shows you who they are, believe them. He was using all types of cliches. So, like Caleb said, that game should be a ton of fun as they go up against each other in the
I don't nobody
SEC.
throw heat at Ohio State.
Huh?
I wonder why don't nobody never throw no smoke at Ohio State.
Because the Ohio State does it to themselves.
We're just nice and sweet.
We win.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we got busted for Tattoo Gate. That was enough. All right, fellas. I want to thank y'all so much for being here today. You've been listening to Her and Her on WOU 95.9
Who?
FM. We are out of here.
Who? WOEIOU. What?
Thanks, fellas. That echo
That's so funny.
was bothering me. That's why I was like stuttering and stuff. So I'm out of here, but thank you. I'll talk to y'all later.
All
All
right.
right.
Yep. All right, I'll see
Okay.
you.
Bye.
Masan, we ready?
Yeah, I'm about to make sure. I just was texting him about that Big Ten award, so I'm about to make sure he good. I'm about to switch over now.
All right, bet.
All right.